Hi, Rob with Shop Prop Realty. Kind of a quick update on how to evaluate properties because you have to find a property that you like and then you have to find sellers that are realistic on price. Sellers are getting more realistic on price compared to a month ago. And I'll give you an idea of what I mean by that is that if you look at properties, for example, let's say I'm searching here, I know that properties are selling basically back in June, July of last year. The high end would be November, let's say, of last year pricing. So when I'm looking at a property, let's say I see this property and I decide that this is a property that I want to make an offer on. And how do I evaluate it and decide if I want to move forward? The first thing, obviously, I'm going to go look at the property and kind of establish what I think of the property. Then I'm going to look at comps around that property. Homes that also have been listed. Here's a property that is also listed for sale right now. And I can look at this real quickly and determine it doesn't have the same updates, obviously, as the property that I'm looking at here, right? It's not as good. I would say that this property here, probably just from looking at it, has probably 100, maybe even more. Compared to this house as far as upgrades go. Let's say call it 100,000. So 1.9, this is priced 100,000 underneath that. Okay, maybe we say they're reasonably priced considering the updates in this particular home. That being said, what I'm going to now do is look at, that gives me one base point. Okay, that's where these properties are priced, but neither one of them are selling. I'm also going to want to dig into how long these have both been on the market. Have they been on the market 30 days? They have been 30 days plus. Then I'm going to want to look at sold properties that have sold in the area and compare them, what they look like in comparison to this subject property. So this is a comparable property that had sold. So I could click on it and establish when it sold and establish how good is it, or what kind of adjustments do I need to make to this property? This property, it looks like they did a remodel, but it looks like it was back in 2000 based on the material. So obviously the property I'm looking at here has updates that are more recent, right? We can tell that by looking at it. So it has updates that are more recent, number one. So I would still give this property a deduction of, let's say, 100,000. I also know that this property went ahead, let's see when we see it was off the market in November of 2021, mid-November. That's at the very high end of the range. So I would give this a deduction of 100,000 plus maybe another 10%. That puts this property down to 2 million in comparison to the property that I'm thinking about purchasing. So $2 million based on that one property that I pulled up, and you don't pick up one. Obviously, you're going to do 2 or 3 minimum. But I would say this is probably reasonably priced. That doesn't mean I'm going to offer full list price if they don't have any offers on it. But I would look at this property and say, this is potentially a property that I would want to favorite and consider it as a potential purchase and something that I might be on my short list. Hope that helps.